because you can have the right mindset and goals, but if you're not providing action with those, it's kind of the secret sauce, in my opinion. So, how big of a role do you think that habits are when it comes to us having a life that we enjoy and that we're proud of?
It's everything. Habits run the show, and they run your life. Just, Lauren, just go ahead and try to change the habit of one of your children or your husband. You're going to be met with a lot of resistance. Okay.
Yes, I try.
Habit,
Yes.
yeah. Don't ever try to change people's habits.
Yeah.
You're in for trouble.
Yeah.
Habits are everything, but we won't change the habits unless we want something bad enough by changing the habit. So that's one of the reasons a lot of people fail. What they want, there's just not a strong enough purpose to it. I really need to lose 20 pounds. That's not purposeful. You're not going to do anything to lose 20 pounds. You might do it for a week or two, maybe a day or two. But everything is we're habitual in what we think. We have this record playing over and over and over. Just keeps playing. Very habitual in our thoughts. We're very habitual in our reactions. Some people are very reactionary, and they react pretty much the same way to the same thing pretty much all the time. And our physical behaviors are very habitual. So it is everything. So the key then is looking at, what is the goal? And then what sort of a mindset do I need to have that goal? So we've talked about some things you need to be thinking differently to operate your mindset properly to get to the goal. And you go, all right, now what are not the habits that you need to eliminate? I wouldn't be focusing on eliminating habits at all.
Okay.
I'd be thinking about and I'd make a laundry list of habits that I would need to form that would help me move towards the goal. I wouldn't worry about accomplishing the goal.
Okay.
What would move me towards the goal? Your job is to move towards the goal. The goal moves towards you, action, reaction. So I would make a list of those things. Now, there's a great quote by Emerson of what use to make heroic vows of amendments if the same old lawbreaker is to keep them. In other words, what's the point of making New Year's resolutions if the person that makes them is the same old person they were last year?
Yeah.
Right. So the key to habit forming, if you understand how the mind works, if you start giving yourself a suggestion, a command, an affirmation. I love getting up at 7 a.m. every single morning. You just keep repeating that. I don't care what time you get up in the morning. You just keep repeating that. Morning and night, morning and night, morning and night, morning and night. At some point, your subconscious, through repetition, is going to grab that, and your behavior will change. Okay?
Yes.
I always tell a story about I lost 20 pounds on an affirmation.
Wow.
All I did was affirm, I live in a healthy body. I'm at my perfect weight. I just kept affirming it, writing it, reading it. I had it recorded. I had a bunch of affirmations. One day people go, have you lost weight? I go, nope. And I kept hearing, have you lost weight? I go, no, I mean, I don't have a scale at home. I haven't lost weight. You go, no, it looks like you've lost weight. So I was at a party one night. I hopped on the scale, and I had weighed myself because, I'd gone to the gym and got this, kind of a benchmark starting point. And I lost 20 pounds without changing anything. My body released it. Now, I did notice after about 3 months, I did start eating differently, but I didn't choose to eat differently. I just one day, instead of a steak frite and a glass of red wine at my favorite restaurant, I ordered a quinoa salad and a Perrier. My server, Ben, he goes, are you okay? I go, did I just order that? But that's what it felt like. That's what my body wanted after looking at the menu. So you give yourself these commands over and over and over again. And the other key is don't see yourself changing the habit. See yourself as the person that has the habit.
Okay.
So don't see yourself eliminating red wine and getting up at 6 a.m. Now that's the command you're going to give yourself, but don't focus on seeing that. What sort of person lives that way? Well, their skin is clear. They get a good night's rest. They're calm. They're confident. They're easy to get along. You see yourself as the person that has those habits. That's the linkage. Give yourself a command. See yourself as that person, and then your behavior will change. You'll start doing things differently. And while you're going from the affirmation to the person you're going to become, you're not allowed to criticize and punish and tease yourself. You can't give yourself a hard time. Now you're gonna, because you've done it your whole life, or your parents did it to you your young life. So you gotta be kind. Go, no, Doug, it's okay. Try again tomorrow. Do your best. Like we gotta be nice to ourselves. That's the ticket. So of what used to make heroic vows of amendment, if the same old lawbreakers to keep them, who is the person that keeps the law? See them as that person. And then what are those things that would get you what you want? And then just work on one at a time, maybe two.
I know you talk about the habit of judging ourselves and other people. And, that's kind of a snap thing for a lot of people. You see someone walking down the street and you go, oh my goodness, look at that hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not even aware of it,
Yeah. It's all
but
about.
that all I think plays into this too, because if you can stop judging other people, you can stop judging yourself and just have more of a neutral feel towards life, more open and accepting feel towards life.
Yeah. And yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
We really got to be neutral in our judgment towards everything, like literally everything. I mean, people, I don't know, you see somebody say or do something. I mean, you don't know what's going on for them or what they're living with at home or anything like that. We weren't always this way. When you were really little, I think about you. Have you seen the TV show, The Girls of Firefly Lane? No, you got to watch it.
Okay.
Anyway, it's about a newscaster. Tully Hart is her name. I was thinking of it last night. Anyway, these two young girls have become best friends. It's a beautiful relationship. And when we were little, we weren't judgmental, but we learned to judge fairly early in life. We didn't judge ourselves when we were little infants and toddlers. It wasn't until the adults hooked our attention and started drilling in the rules and the values and the beliefs, and if we didn't follow them, or we didn't follow the rules at school, that's when we started getting judged. And we didn't like it because it was wrong. It was just not natural. It's not natural for us to do it, but we're human and we do it. The key is just try to dial it down a bit, just a little bit each day. Just ratchet it back a bit each day, because every time you judge somebody, you're judging yourself. Now, you might not know that or understand that, but that's what's happening. You are eroding your self-worth, and you're undermining the very thing you're trying to achieve by judging other people. So if you want to get ahead and you want to feel better about yourself, then a really simple way to do it is stop judging and become more neutral.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Worrying, I think, kind of fits into that as well. A lot of people spend time, rather than focusing on the positive or what's going right, they're worrying about the one or two things in life that aren't going right. And look, everybody's guilty of that as well.
Absolutely. I was reading, I read a little devotional every day. And it was talking about worry. This beautiful little book that I read every morning. It's called Jesus Calling. Sarah Young's the author. It's just a little daily devotional. And this morning, so it's like Jesus is talking to you, right? He goes, anxiety is a result of envisioning the future without me. What do you say here? He's just talking about if you're going to consider upcoming events, follow these rules. Don't linger in the future, because anxiety sprouts up like mushrooms when you wander around there. That's all anxiety is lingering in the future, and then, these mushrooms, all this bad pops up,
Mm-hmm.
what did I put on Facebook this morning? I put a post up, something about anxiety. I don't know if I won't be able to find it, but we do. Oh, here it is. Here, you don't have to suffer from anxiety. You create your suffering by worrying about the future. Most people are creating their own anxieties.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said the other day, I finally realized, Doug, I'm not suffering from anxiety. I'm not an anxious person, but I do get anxious sometimes. I do have anxiety. Of course, do we all have anxiety? Doesn't mean you have anxiety problems or you suffer from the disease called anxiety. Anxiety is not a disease. Anxiety is a result of you worrying about the future, and you're in
Mm-hmm.
control of it. Now, you were
Mm-hmm.
just taught to do that. That's why you do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wonderful promise, isn't it? Wouldn't it be? You could eliminate your anxiety if you just train yourself to not spend too much time lingering in the future, wandering around aimlessly in your
It's true.
imagination. It is
And
true.
if you are thinking about the future, learning how to control what you think. I know that sounds strange, but when you find yourself lingering out into the future, oh no, what if this happens or that or this goes wrong or whatever, then
Right.
the way I've overcome that is I switch it to I have like if I start worrying about my kids, oh my gosh, is that safe? Is he safe? He hasn't called or texted, we all do that. Then
Yeah.
in my mind, I just have like a trigger now where I go, nope, stop. And I imagine what it's going to look like at his wedding or his graduation or something like that,
Right.
like a
Okay.
joyous
Cool.
moment. So then I
Yeah.
put myself, okay. And then that just kind of ends it.
Yeah.
But worrying, I think, is a little bit of a part of parenthood. You have a child, you understand that. But if you can sort of, I don't know, put a positive spin there at the end, I just find for me that helps and it kind of shuts it off.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, if you just stick to the facts, 80% of the things we worry about never ever come true. Like that was in the insurance industry. They measured people's worries because they're always underwriting and
Sure.
prognosticating death rates and stuff. My rule is I just snap my fingers. I go, I don't need to worry about that because I might not be here tomorrow. My day goes from about 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to about 11 at night, and then I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And all I try to do is I just try to just do really well all
Mm-hmm.
the way from the time I get up until I go to bed, because I might not wake up tomorrow. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not prophesizing I'm going to get sick and die. I'm going to live for a long, long time. But I operate within that confine because I might not wake up tomorrow. One day
So
at a
just
time.
one day at a time. Um,
One day.
when it comes to confidence, I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yes.
How do you navigate that?
Well, number one, I think you have to be honest with yourself, is that you are confident in many areas of your life. You might be confident in your job. You might be confident baking. You might be confident working on your car. You can't say you're not a confident person. That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
There's some areas where you lack confidence and you have maybe low self-esteem combined with that, and it's inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get that straight. Is that, listen, give yourself some credit, Doug. You are confident in A, B, C, and D, and I think you should get your pen out and list the areas you are confident in. Confidence, all confidence comes from is experience. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Very true.
And then wisdom, which is ultimately what we want to gain. Wisdom comes from experience multiplied by time. And so, like, when you started this new business, you weren't confident 100%. You're wading in a new ground.
Yeah.
We just put so much, I think our world, society has just put way too much pressure on people and ourselves that we're supposed to be confident. We got it all together and pretend to be somebody we're not. That was perpetuated by other people, and we have to free ourselves from that prison that we've actually allow to be placed in, or we place ourselves in, or remain in. Confidence is just experience. And so you're going to be nervous. You're going to be scared. I sweat. When I'm nervous, I perspire a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have to wipe my hands on my pants or my jacket before I shake your hand. If I'm in a situation that I'm uncomfortable,
Yeah.
I had to come to terms with that. I was giving myself a hard time because I perspire. Well, guess what? I perspired more because I was paying attention to my perspiration. Now I go,
Sure.
I'm like TD Jakes, that big, the big preacher,
Yeah.
TD
I've
Jakes.
heard him.
Heard him?
Yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
sweats like crazy. I
Yes.
saw him on stage, man. His suit is soaking wet. I go,
Mm-hmm.
well, he's fine. I can sweat too. Confidence is overrated, or the need for it is overrated. Confidence comes through action, and everything's cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Create an action, you get a reaction. That'll build confidence. Mm-hmm. Take some action, get a reaction. That'll build belief in yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Create an action, take an action, get a reaction. You'll face a conflict, you'll resolve. It's all action, reaction. And you don't have to do one little thing, just one thing, one little ripple, one little pebble in the ocean. And if you drop a pebble in the ocean, it sends out a ripple, and the ripple comes back. Now, you don't see that, but that's what happens. Mm-hmm. We just have to create ripples, just little pebbles, one thing, and you'll get confidence. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get confidence sitting around doing nothing.
That is so true. It's all about just going out and trying new things. At the end of the day, seeing what works for you, what fits, and finding your direction and your path that way.
Yeah. And doing things that you really want to do. Don't do things because you're challenged to do them and you want to do it to fit in or be accepted. I mean, if you really want to jump out of a plane, then push yourself to jump out of a plane. But I don't want to jump out of a plane. I have no interest in it. Nobody's going to. Don't do things that you don't want to do that other people want you to do, and you just want to do it so you fit in. Just do what you want to do. Just do little things and just make little moves. What's that movie with Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, Contact? She's an astronomer, or she wants to find all the stars in the galaxy, and her dad said, "Small moves, Sparks, small moves." I love that. Small moves, Lauren.
So true. It's so true. But it adds up over time, and it's compounded. And then I have 5 kids, and people go, "Oh my gosh, how do you run a household with 5 kids? And they all play sports, and you work, and this and that." And I said, well, I started with 1 and then I had 2, and you don't jump feet first into, running a huge business. You start small, kind of thing. So it's.
Yeah. And one thing I think of, so most of us understand compound interest. When I was young, I was told if I put $1 a day away, at 20 years old, $1 every day for the rest of my life, by the time I was 65, I would have well over $1 million. And that's how compound interest works, is that you only have to invest a little, and generally your money doubles every 7 to 10 years. That's the beauty of compound interest. You get interest on the increase of your original capital, right? Just a little bit each day, and it compounds. Your job is not to run the bank and calculate the compound interest. You just put the money in the bank. Let the universe take care of the compounding. Right? That's
exactly right.
The compounding takes care of itself. You just got to do the little things every single day, just little.
Absolutely. And if you do it with joy and integrity and are good to others, it will explode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
watched. A great guy to listen to would be great guy to listen to is Warren Buffett.
Okay.
He's the richest man, the most successful investor. He's just a regular guy, really simple, keeps it really simple. There's no complications. If you listen to that guy every day for a month, you would learn the secret to his success. You might not become Warren Buffett or do what he's done, but your life will get really good, really, really fast, because he's simple, he's honest, filled with integrity, sticks to basic, simple principles. Hell, the guy's almost 100. He eats McDonald's and drinks Coke every day. It's amazing because he's following the basics. We've been too confused by, all the junk that gets thrown at us, all the quick fixes and all the gurus, and social media is kind of the new I remember as a kid, there was classified ads, these get rich schemes in the classified ads.
Yes.
When I was a kid, yeah, well, it's the same thing. Just, my dad, he bought he fell into a bunch of different hoaxes when he was I was young, he was a young man. And he bought a few things off the newspaper and lost his money. He
Yeah.
got hoaxed a couple of
Yeah.
times. So it's really, really simple. Just stick to the
Yeah.
basics.
It's true. All right. Well, Doug, it's
Yeah.
always wonderful talking with you. I think this is such valuable information for people out there looking to set goals and make changes and work on their mindset. So I love talking to you. You have such a wonderful, wonderful perspective. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's fun. I love what you're doing too, helping people. So my pleasure to help you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was great. Great information.
Yes. That was
I
fun.
think,
As
yeah, I think that's,
we're talking, I was thinking, because I've been thinking about. Well, I'm going to put something together just to dummy this down. It's almost like, 10 simple rules to follow, or
mhm.
even make it a shorter list, even 5 simple things. Do this one first for a couple of weeks, then do this one. Just really dummy it down and simplify it. Because as I'm talking, thinking, I got to make sure I'm trying to keep this straight and simple, and where people can latch onto it, because it's so easy to just get overwhelmed.
It
Um,
is.
oh my God, that sounds complicated, but I don't think
Mhm.
we say anything that's really all that complicated, but people
No.
perceive it complicated. So just keeping it just simple.
Yeah. And when I write it up, I'll kind of put the more of like the nuggets of what you said, so that that sort of is reinforced when people read it. But I still think there's immense value in like a longer explanation of things
Sure. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people. And
What are you
I
going
mean,
to do? You're gonna have a recording and a written version?
so yeah, I'm creating a blog. It's not up yet.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. I hired someone to create the place. I'll write the stories, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's their part's not finished yet. But so I'll write a blog on this once they have a place for me to put it. But
Right.
for now, I'll probably break this up into probably 3 different pieces for YouTube, and then I'll probably break it up into several for social media and just sprinkle those over the next probably 2 months.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good.
Yeah.
Well, anything I can do to help you, let me know.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Thank
help.
you. Thank you.
All right. Good.
All right. I appreciate it. Have a
All right.
wonderful rest of the
See you soon.
day.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.